up here and there. But then the moment you start understanding what is sitting under that figure, like in the same way that this morning you were scrutinizing, splitting, digging, or what I call data mining, the data, suddenly they mean something. And the data, I'd say, becomes as if alive. You know now, when you talk about, you look at this interest, or when you look at this, means something to you, you know? So in your case here, every other item, you should not feel uncomfortable. Okay, because it's the first time, if you're not looking at it, it's because you're doing your analysis based on some other data. But I would suggest that you must be fully in control of your data, so that when you look at the data, you know it. Yes. You understand what is that. All revenue, non-all revenue. It should not be something that, oh, I don't want. Don't ask me any question like that. I don't know anything. It shouldn't be. That's your data. You should be able to know it. That's when you can defend it. You can defend. You can say what? Or you can say yes. Why is it not going up in that? Oh, I know it because of that reason. I think I don't need to be an expert like you to even answer that question. Why is it going up? I don't need to be an expert on the same. Introduced in 2016. This is your Article 4. I get the impression it was around April this year. April or May this year. So this was taking into account the recent developments. Okay. So like I said, sometimes they're very obvious. But then if it was not now, where I know what is happening to the oil prices, etc. And obviously sometimes, then I would have had to ask myself, why is it going down? Sometimes you know why. But then sometimes don't even infer. Don't even conclude that, oh, I know why the price is going down. It could be something else. It could be because there is a problem with production it also. Yes. There may be something somewhere because there's a problem somewhere where it's militant, whatever, it's gone down. So never assume the obvious, because the obvious for me now, without looking at it, oh, I know the price gone down. So of course there's a price element. In anything there's a price, but there's also a quantity. And that's the whole thing about going back again to basics, like what you've done this morning. Everything, like the CPI, etc., when we used to be at school, the value is price times volume is equal to the total amount. So, and that comes back to you when doing analysis. Every time when you're doing your analysis, it has either it's a price issue or it's a quantity issue. Price times quantity is equal to the total. So here also, this revenue is that. It's basically those two. So never jump to the conclusion because you're saying it deep down. It's solely because of price. It could be there is a problem like the one you mentioned. Right? It could be that the production is expected to go down for whatever reason. It could be a genuine decision, or it could be because of some upheaval. Okay, so that's something that I would expect you to analyze. And like you see here again, people like when we're analyzing, we like those ratios. We like those. They put it on the memorandum item, whatever it is, but those indicators, those percentage is very important. You know, when I do my own analysis, I cannot do any analysis without reorganizing the data, doing some ratios, doing the share percentage. Always do that. Then you're in business. Okay, so that's your data. Let's move on. The expenditure side, we've spoken a little about it, but I'm formally introducing it here. Current expenditure, you know it. Operating expenditure of the government happens recurs. The reason why we always talk about recurrent is because it recurs. It happens every year. That's the origin anyway. Wages and salaries, purchase of goods and services by the government, interest payments, they're all here. Capital expenditure, I've put is equivalent to investment. The reason why I put investment in between quotes here is because sometimes people think that capital expenditure may not all contribute to investment. That's why I put it here. Technically, that's what's idea, is for you to invest. But it's more to do with equipment and all this type of thing. So it's an investment in that sense. So that's why I leave it here as, because sometimes they talk about productive investment and non-productive investment. So in order to avoid the debate, I'll put it as investment. But you know the difference between current and expected. That's pretty clear. Okay? So purchase of land, buildings, physical capital.
This particular item contributed more than the other within the period.
So yeah, so that's fine, that's good. In terms of saying which item or more of which, so as an illustration, so what would you, for example, say like the last one? What would you?
For instance,
what is more, what is less?
For instance, now there is this federal government sales of federal government housing. That's assets.
So you can project into the future. Let's say for 2017, we are expecting, given if there's any substantial kind of financing gap from 2017 budget, we were expecting it to be financed from sale of recovered looted government assets.
Yes.
You know, as a key source of finance. Instead of going to the market and borrowing, you have assets, you know, lying parallel that even government agencies cannot, use. Because we've been down that line before, 2004, 5, and 6.
Yes.
You understand, where we had, kind of substantial, kind of government assets, especially buildings that had to be sort of to finance the deficit in the budget. But you see, the problem with that is that sometimes, previously, in those years, the major mistake in the implementation has been you sell assets and then you finance consumption. Instead of putting them into strategic capital, kind of expenditures, you use such to pay salaries and wages. But I think what the government is planning based on, a few documents we've seen. But I attended the MTSS initial meeting at the Ministry of Budget and National Planning before we came for this program. The thinking of government is changing towards the use of recovered loot and the process from sale of such properties into key strategic infrastructural, investments.
Right. Okay, so yes, sale of assets that could definitely. I don't know what is the quantum you're thinking about. The government would have done their estimates. So it's very, very right. Instead of just using it as form of a consumption, which you're trying to identify it as in your case, as a financing item. So is there anything like a strategy about for how long this sale is going to go on? Because this is in many other countries what happens, these are considered to be like exceptional items.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that many assets to keep selling. Like you can have privatization and all this type of thing, which is sometimes one-off. But then for how long would you be able to do that? At the end of the day, then when it's run out, then you're back to square one in terms of the usual, like finance.
I don't think we can sell this as a
It is. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Foreign aspect.
It is not a lot in this particular model,
Yeah.
which is, how much is it expected to do here? Well, it's not even, it's not saying anything here. Well, there's something here around that. All right, yeah. So that's the item you're talking about. So these are the type of analysis.
This time around, we are not looking at foreign assets. We are saying assets in Nigeria.
Local assets. Oh, I see. So it's not even here.
Local assets. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So they're not even
Yeah.
yet projecting it here. Oh, I see.
I think that's a super
Yes.
word form. We're talking of local assets.
Yeah. This is foreign assets. Yes. You're right. So that there would be something there next time.
I don't think the government can sell such assets even over a period of 3 years.
So
The
3 years.
quantum of assets is much. I don't think it's even if the economy, kind of the private sector or whatever we're able to buy such, because the quantum of assets is much. It's serious.
Because there's quite a number of issues getting involved about when you talk about sales of assets. Because that, like we're talking about, what is the price, who's going to take it, how does it get the divestiture, etc. Because it's quite a big process. So you're right there. It may not necessarily happen overnight, etc. But that would be a financing item, like I hear what you're saying. But once that has been done, then you go back to the traditional that you have here: financing, external, and then domestic. Okay. So that's what it is, which is what I've been putting here. Up till now, those assets, sale of asset, which is an income as if the source of income temporarily for government because it's selling the asset. But there may be problem in terms of selling it because it's a process. You can't just go and flog your asset just left and right like that. You need the right price, the right buyer, etc., etc. And many times there have been cases where government has tried to sell. What type of analysis do you do about financing? Is you always have to mention that in your analysis about the implications of doing too much of one thing. So if the DMO of the government itself decide to say that in the future we're going to go to the market every year, which is possible, meaning to the international capital market, you need to have a proper strategy about what is the thinking behind that. Okay? So the government has decided to, because the external rate is very low, so the financing of the deficit is going to be done through ICM, meaning international capital market. So you as from a parliamentary point of view, you should raise the issue that we don't want to send the wrong signal in terms of what is happening. Or are you taking into account the international development or the challenges that are faced? That maybe the QE is going out, and also there may be the interest rate. Okay, the interest rate is low at the moment, but then we need to look at, remember I was talking to you about the pricing, what is happening to the yield, your secondary price, etc. So these are the type of analysis you normally would be to done. Obviously you've decided there is a deficit there, it has to be financed. So for 1 minute, if we forget this capital, this sale of asset, which is exceptional, the rest still has to be done through either domestic borrowing or external borrowing. And these are the type of questions. Well, external borrowing, yes, but look at the pattern. So we have to be sure that this is under control. But like I said, we have a 1 week to discuss that. So we'll discuss that in detail about the type of information that you normally would analyze, so that then at least they will come back to you and tell you, yes, we are taking note of that. We're not just opening it. And the dynamic, how quickly we are going to the market. The big danger that the international committee is talking about in Africa now is, are we going to another crisis? Because left and right, everybody is going to the capital market. You see from Angola to Ghana, you just name it, everyone wants to get a piece of the cake. And the danger here is that you may be getting into an unsustainable situation. The whole issue about debt, you have to refinance it. So every time you have to go to the market, every year, because you're financing the budget, every year you have to go to the market. But if the cost is going up dramatically, so what's the implication on your budget? You must ask the question, is it worth for me to keep running a deficit which is expensive to finance or not?